back to my channel. This is your Hope Coach, Destiny Sprague with SacredCareServices.com. So I've had emergency coaching calls today. I've had great conversations with multiple people. I've just been talking to lots of different people, and I wanted to get on because during a talk with someone, I felt the Holy Spirit really tell me, are you willing to overcome? And it's a good question to really reflect on. Are you willing to overcome? Because God can do a lot with a willing heart. He can do a lot with a willing heart. He wants us to be willing. He wants us to surrender to Him so that He can help us. He cannot help you if you're not willing. He cannot help you if you are not willing, because He's a God of love, and He doesn't force us to do anything that we don't want to do. He allows us to make the choices that we want to make. And we either have the choice of life or death. There is no in between. So are you choosing to overcome? Are you choosing life? Or are you choosing to sit in your challenges and let them overcome you? That is death. It's really important to overcome. It's really important to be willing to overcome, because there is no receiving the future and the plans that God has for you if you aren't willing to overcome. We know that our Messiah was an overcomer, and He gave up a lot of things. He gave up His life to free us from sin. And so if you aren't willing to overcome sin, all the things that are not of God, God is love. He is a God of hope. He is a God of faith. He is a God who is patient. He is a God that is kind. He is all these things and beyond. And He wants us to receive all those things too, because we were created in His image. We were created in His image, so He wants us to have all those good things. But not enough people are willing to overcome. A lot of people are not willing to overcome because they're uncomfortable. They don't want to be uncomfortable. And believe it or not, a lot of people are comfortable with living with anxiety and doubt and fear and depression. And I'm here to tell you today, if you keep living like that, you will not receive the promises that God has for you. And because I care about you, I want you to receive those promises, because I have received those promises, and I'm continuing to overcome so that I can receive more promises. We have to submit our lives to God so that we can do what we've been created to do. There's so much more to life than what the world thinks. You know, when I was in the world, it was all about making money. It was all about surviving. It was all about worldly things. But when we come into a relationship with God, we see that there's so much more to life. And I know that some of you out here that are going to hear this message are unhappy with the life that you're living. And if you're unhappy with that life, if you are wrestling to overcome something, be willing to overcome it by receiving the gifts that God has placed within you and in front of you. Whether it's, reaching out for support and receiving a gift, the gift of another child that God has gifted with, or talking to a friend, get the proper support that you need so that you can live the life that you were created to live. If you feel like you have no purpose, or you're lost and you're confused, reach out for support so that you can get clarity and gain truth on what it is that you're going through and how to overcome it, because you were not created to live with those challenges. You were created to overcome them. So until next time, guys, remain putting your hope in God, and have a blessed day.